Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us today on GMSA at 9.
Yes, we hope we're having a good week so far and maybe just are a little happier just knowing that a little later we might get less humidity.
Yes, because again, it's the official days of fall is happening right now, Dustin. Right?
Yes, it's official.
That sounded a little threatening. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it is official, although we just can't seem to get some colder air in here. I mean, all we're asking for is like a day in the 80s, okay? And we're not going to get that even with the front tomorrow, but we will get lower humidity, as Steph said, and it will feel better, especially during the morning time. Our forecast today calls for about a 30% chance of rain this evening. We could see some showers and maybe even a thunderstorm, but I think this takes place again, evening hours for the most part. 93 is where we end up. It's still fairly humid today, and the dew point trend. So this is kind of the important stat that we've been watching. By tomorrow, that dry air starts to push in, and we get dew points low 50s, maybe even some 40s in some cases, and that's pleasant to almost dry. So it's a different feel, and it allows those morning temperatures to really fall. So a few showers today, maybe early tomorrow too, as that front comes in. And then cooler mornings. We could go as low as 63 by Friday morning. And then we'll be watching Helene. This is likely going to be a major hurricane. The hurricane hunters are flying into it as we speak. We're going to show you some of the new stats we got coming in and the new track on this system. That's coming up in just a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Let's look out there with TransGuide this morning, see how things are doing. Oh, it looks really nice there, that shot there at the Alamo Dome. I-37, things are moving. Also there, I-37 at Houston Street. I'm going to take a quick check to see on Text.dot website just to see. It looks like there's a crash at I-10 and Vance Jackson. Looks like right now the only one lane blocked, so just be aware of that area.
This morning, the father accused in the starvation death of his 4-year-old son will go on trial. We've told you about little Brandon Cervera, who died in 2021. Brandon Cervera is facing a charge of injury to a child after his 4-year-old died in 2021.
Our Erica Hernandez has been following the case and is joining us live from the Justice Center. Erica, a lot of the evidence we could be hearing, we have already heard before, correct?
Yeah, Stephanie, that is correct. As the co-defendant in this case, Cervera's ex-wife, Miranda Cáceres, was found guilty earlier this year back in April and sentenced to 25 years in prison. So a lot of that same evidence that we saw, I expected to come back. Now that evidence will be directed towards Cervera and what he did or didn't do for his son. In Cáceres' trial, a lot of the defense was putting blame on Cervera, but now that could shift. We could see Cervera's defense now saying that Cáceres was at fault. So this case will be interesting to follow, but also very hard to hear. There's even videos of some of the abuse and neglect. Now, we'll be here all week live streaming, so you can watch that on all our digital platforms. This morning we'll start kind of close to 10 a.m., but also Cervera is facing up to life in prison if he is found guilty. I'll be back here at noon to have more on those opening arguments. Live outside the Canadian Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Erica. And we have an update for you regarding a missing persons case that we brought to you yesterday on GMSA at 9. The body of a woman was found yesterday afternoon, and it's believed that that body belonged to 63-year-old Stacy Dramiga.
Now, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office believed that foul play was involved in her death. Sheriff Javier Salazar says the body was found in a wooded area along the Salado Creek Greenway near DeFoster Park. Now, that is not far from that avenue and East Commerce Streets on the east side. That's a few miles from where Dramiga was reported missing after she went for a walk. Sheriff Salazar says the body found Monday matches her description, although that match has not been confirmed yet. The body was found about 30 yards from the walking trails in that area. You can call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office if you have any information on the case.
Here's today's 9 at 9.
As threats of a wider war in the Middle East continue to grow, the United States is preparing to send more troops to the region. This is in addition to the nearly 40,000 troops already in the Middle East. Contingents began to rise after October 7th last year. Officials say the additional troops will be working on planning evacuations in the region, but that operation may not take place.
The 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly starts Tuesday, meaning many of the most politically powerful people on the planet are in the Big Apple. The meeting of world leaders, including President Joe Biden, comes as wars are raging in Ukraine, Sudan, and the Middle East. Other agenda items include meetings on rising sea levels and combating the threat of antimicrobial resistance to global health.
Vice President Kamala Harris is reportedly planning her first visit to the southern border since becoming the Democratic nominee for president. New York Times reports that Harris will visit the border during a trip to Arizona Friday after a new poll showed former President Trump now leading by 5 points in that state.
The man accused in an assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump was in court Monday for a detention hearing. 58-year-old Ruth currently faces 2 gun charges, and prosecutors plan to bring attempted assassination charges before a grand jury. Prosecutors say that a witness has a letter written by Ruth detailing an apparently planned assassination attempt on Trump. The letter also includes a $150,000 reward offer to anyone who could, quote, complete the job.
Police in Birmingham, Alabama are offering a combined reward of up to $100,000 for the information that leads to the arrest of those responsible for a targeted hit on a popular entertainment district Saturday night. At least 4 people were killed, with another 17 left injured, most of whom were innocent bystanders. Police also believe the weapons used in the shooting were illegally modified to fire automatically.
Jury in Colorado on Monday returned a verdict against the man accused of a deadly mass shooting at a grocery store in Boulder after rejecting the shooter's plea of insanity. The jury found the shooter guilty of murdering 10 people at a King Soopers grocery store in March of 2021. Hours after the verdict, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Boeing has issued a new offer to striking union members. The offer includes an immediate 12% raise and a 30% raise over the 4-year life of the contract. Before the strike began, union members rejected an offer of an immediate 11% raise and 25% over the life of the contract. Boeing is also offering to increase 401k contribution rates, but union members want the company to bring back its pension. The union has not commented on the new offer.
California is suing ExxonMobil, claiming for nearly half a century the company has deceived the public about whether plastics are recyclable. The suit claims Exxon promoted the widely used recycling symbol, leading buyers to believe products with the symbol could be recycled. But a study in 2022 found only about 5% of plastic waste in the U.S. is actually recycled, the rest being incinerated or sent to a landfill.
Lawmakers in Washington are hard at work today trying to bring down the cost of weight loss drugs. Senator Bernie Sanders is leading a hearing today demanding answers on the pricing of the drugs. The CEO of Novo Nordisk, the maker of Ozempic and Wegovy, is set to testify in person. Novo Nordisk recently committed $30 billion to increase manufacturing capacity for these drugs, and it spent $4 billion last year in research and development for future treatments. And that's today's 9 at 9.
Time now it's 9:06 and 80 degrees for now. You're still watching GMSA at 9.
Got some bad news for folks with student loans. The monthly payments are at record highs right now. We'll go over how that happened in your consumer news.
And KSAT wants to celebrate those educators who support and inspire our kids. Coming up, we're going to introduce you to September's Educator of the Month.
Educator of the Month, brought to you by First Mark Credit Union.
The 2024-25 school year is well underway, and here at KSAT, we're recognizing an educator each month from your nominations with the Educator of the Month Award.
So for the month of September, we are recognizing an educator who has been making a difference in students' lives on campus and off campus and teaching the kids to take pride in their school. So congratulations to this month's winner, head custodian at Fenwick Academy, Susana Hernandez.
Overwhelming excitement and cheers from the students at Fenwick Academy.
Congratulations, you are KSAT's Educator of the Month.
After seeing Susana Hernandez, who they call Miss Susie, get rewarded for all her hard work.
I love what I do. It's very obvious. The kids, everybody means a lot to me. Thank you, guys. Oh my God, I'm so emotional. Thank you so much, guys. Love you guys.
Although Susanna has been with SAISD for 5 years, this is Susanna's first year at Fenwick Academy. Susanna was at Hubbard's Elementary School, however, made the move to Fenwick when Hubbard's closed at the end of last school year. So for some of the students who also made the switch from Hubbard's to Fenwick, it has been comforting knowing they would see Miss Susie on campus.
Just to see a familiar face for them has really helped them, with the transition, themselves. Parents, I've had some parents tell me, I'm so happy you're there.
And even before Fenwick Academy officially opened to students this school year, Susanna was hard at work getting the campus ready.
You can tell that she has that passion and she really wants the absolute best for our students. She wants them to come into a school that is beautiful, that is clean, that is welcoming, that is loving.
Susanna also volunteers after school coaching some of the students in soccer.
We used to practice a lot and play many games, and we do a lot of different techniques to learn how to play soccer better.
Miss Susie has also been teaching kids to take pride in their school.
She's very kind and nice, and she always gave us these Susie tickets when we were picking up trash. She keeps our school clean.
I do what I can, for these kids. I want to leave a good impression.
You can see they were really excited to greet her when we were at the school. We surprised her, and the kids were super excited. Everybody wanted to get up and give her a hug.
It's so sweet, and it's cool seeing how the Educator of the Month is not particularly a teacher. It could be a janitor, a bus driver, anybody who has made some type of impact on kids, and you see just how special she is to that community.
Yeah, she's definitely made an impact already at this school. So it's her first year at this school. It's just a lot of the kids from her old school came on over, and the parents like to see that too. They're like, okay, there's a familiar face here at Fenwick Academy, and congratulations again, Susanna.
I love seeing that.
That's so cool. So cool. And thanks for highlighting that.
Yeah, thanks.
We've got some better weather on the way. I've got some good news in that regard. It's not going to be, grab your coat. For Steph, it may be. But for the rest of us.
Sure, I'll do it.
63 Friday morning. That's turn on the heater in your car, Steph, for you. 68 Thursday, 63 Friday morning. So that's kind of the big takeaway here, is that we're not going to really feel it in the afternoons. It's going to be the mornings, because we'll have lower humidity, and what that helps to do is allow those temperatures during the nighttime hours to really fall. And we'll start off with some really beautiful weather once we can get this drier air in here. So when does it arrive? Today's still humid. We got dew points in the 70s this morning. It'll probably stay in the 60s for the rest of the afternoon, and then 70s tomorrow to start. But by midday, here comes the drier air, and it starts to funnel in. You start to see these dew points in the 50s, maybe even some 40s. That puts us in the pleasant to almost dry category, and that is what's going to make all the difference in the world. Outside right now, we're not feeling it yet. 80 degrees, 79 in New Braunfels, 79 in Converse, low 70s for Bernie and Kerrville. Let me walk you through the futurecast here, because we still do have a chance for rain today, although at 3 o'clock, this is not showing much at all. Nor is it showing much at 5 o'clock. It really holds off a lot of the activity until later tonight with some showers and maybe a couple thunderstorms. This is around 10 o'clock. It does show some activity around here. So we'll keep an eye on the authority radar. Again, rain chances are on the low end, but they are there. 20% midday. We do bring it up to a 30% for the late afternoon and evening hours, with high temperatures right around 93. Okay, let's go out to the tropics now. It is still potential tropical cyclone 9. I have a feeling, again, this will change here soon. This will probably get a name. But as of the 7 a.m. update, winds are at 35 miles per hour. What is this line, you ask? Well, that is the hurricane hunters. We can track their path. This is real time. They are flying through the middle of this tropical system. Now, it is still pretty lopsided. So that tells you that it's still not completely organized. Center of circulation is probably somewhere here, if there even is one. But that's what the hurricane hunters are doing. They're getting data out of this. And you may say, well, why are they doing this? This is crazy. It's not, because all that data they give us just helps the models perform better. It gives us a better idea of where this is going to be headed, and it really is valuable information. So right now we know it's moving northwest at about 9 miles per hour. We'll get another update here soon. and we'll see if it is indeed named Helene. But we know it will become Hurricane Helene. The question is, well, how strong will it become? The Hurricane Center thinks this will be a major hurricane by Thursday, winds at 115 miles per hour, and then eventually making landfall somewhere between Tampa and probably Pensacola. So it's that area right there that needs to watch this so very closely. This could have major, major impacts. Then it moves inland and brings a lot of heavy rain to places like Atlanta, Nashville, and Indianapolis by the weekend. It is going to stay well to the east of Texas. So as we look at the upper level winds here, these are the features I want to point out. Ridge of high pressure to the east of it. We've got the low that's dipping across parts of the Mississippi Valley, and you got a high off to the west. So this pulls this thing, kind of like a conveyor belt, pulls it north in between these two features, and that's where all the action will be. With the heavy rain, as I mentioned, for obviously Florida, but even Georgia and parts of Alabama. For us, we're on the dry side of things. So you got all the saturated tropical air there over Florida and the southeast, but on the back side of it, you got the dry air that will funnel in, and it will be here for a good while. It stays with us all the way into the weekend, and that keeps things sunny, keeps things dry. It will still be warm, yes, but at least the humidity will be taken out of the equation. So 30% chance today, 20% chance tomorrow. And then you see the forecast for the rest of the work weekend into the weekend looking pretty nice.
All right.
I like that. The less humidity, the better.
Makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
And speaking about the better, let's get over to the best. SA Live, what's up, my friends?
Yes, we're ready, right, for lower humidity.
Yes,
lower humidity. But, you know, this is also our time of year because there is also a frightfully delicious competition going on.
That's right. Take a look at these treats in front of us. We have Chef Manny Martinez, the Grim Baker, who is currently in Season 10 Halloween Baking Championship on the Food Network, representing San Antonio.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. Tell me about what you have here. This looks amazing.
Thank you. So we have our hard candy poison apple. It's a classic hard candy apple with a really special skull face mold that we casted and placed on to give it that really spooky, you know, fun effect. Because I mean,
and you have a cat soundtrack. Yeah. Oh, I love that. And we are going to make stab cakes. Okay, we'll tell you what that is, guys. You got to stick around for that. We've got the pro with us today.
Yes, and she's the two-time San Antonio Brunch Festival's People's Choice Award winner. We've got Chef Drea from Southern Grit here, already stirring the pot, right?
Baby, that's all I do. How y'all doing this morning?
Great. What are you making today for us?
Well, today I'm making my signature, which is the shrimp and grits. We're adding a little twist to it today, just to, you know, spice up the taste buds.
All right, we are excited also. From good food to great music, how the Conjunto Heritage Taller is preserving culture through music. We've got that and much more coming up on SA Live.
Consumer news this morning, student loans are becoming harder to pay back.
So that's according to the new data from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, who says that today's rates are the highest since the Great Recession in 2008.
So right now, undergrad loan interest rates have jumped to 6.53%, up 19% from last year and 44% higher than 5 years ago. It's even worse for grad students and parents, with interest rates now topping 9%. So these increases could add over $3 billion in extra interest on loans this year alone.
So according to the data, an undergrad leaving school in 2025 will pay an extra $466 just from borrowing this year compared to last year. And the CFPB says that that's only for 1 year of loans. The actual cost will be much higher, while income-driven payment plans can help interest still accumulate.
Well, the CFPB also warns that some borrowers struggle to find or access these plans, and even if rates drop in the future, borrowers stuck with fixed federal rates will not see their payments decrease.
Now, students are left to decide between federal loans with protections or private loans with lower rates, but far fewer safeguards. The CFPB says that many private lenders overstate their benefits, and some borrowers report having trouble refinancing or assessing promised relief.
Well, the Bureau says it is keeping a close watch on how these interest rates impact borrowers, and that loan companies must follow federal consumer protection laws. All right.
Yeah, no, that's a whole situation. A lot of kiddos. I mean, it's just crazy because, again, you get into college, you want to, have a good time and do what you need to do to afford it. But yet you got that stuck on the back end. But if you need it, you got to do what you got to do. So we'll keep an eye on this.
Yes, we will. Time now 9:24 and 80 degrees for now. There's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including questions around after a Medina County Sheriff's deputy was captured on his body cam shooting a teen at close range with a pepper spray gun. KSAT investigates next.
And just as we had at the 9 at 9, with high rates of obesity across the nation, the federal government is making a big push to ensure that weight loss drugs are not only available, but affordable to millions who need them. Those details next. Welcome back. It's 9:28. Well, Medina County Sheriff's deputy captured on his own body camera shooting a handcuffed teenager in the eye at close range with a high propulsion pepper spray gun.
Deputy Jonathan Nunemaker serving 7 years probation for the felony assault, while teenager Brandon Cervera has permanent injuries to his eye.
What transpired in this gas station parking lot over the next hour will change the course of the lives of the suspect and deputy forever. Body camera footage recorded by a Castroville Police Department officer shows Nunemaker becoming more and more agitated.
Kick my door again, you're gonna get hemmed up. I didn't kick your door. Sit there and shut up.
The deputy's attempts to inventory what's inside the stolen car interrupted time and again by Sanchez, who demands to know when he'll be taken to jail.
Is he seriously doing this? I'm gonna hit him. Can you hang on for a second? Ted, I'm gonna hit him. I'm done with this.
Nunemaker at one point retrieves leg shackles from his vehicle, but fails to put them on Sanchez, who continues to cause a commotion.
Watch out! Flex, mother, I dare you.
Bro, chill out, bro. You just hit the out of my head.
After the 7th interruption, Nunemaker pulls out his department-issued pepper spray gun.
What the Hey, why'd you... Ah!
Well, investigative reporter Dylan Collier spent months trying to get his hands on that footage you just saw, and he joins us live right now. Well, Dylan, how did this spiral out of control?
Well, this was a situation that built and then spilled over, as you saw right there. Sanchez repeatedly kicked the inside of the patrol vehicle and was not listening to commands. Nunemaker got increasingly flustered because he kept having to pause his investigation of the stolen car and what was inside of it to deal with the teenager.
So who brought this whole pepper spray to the forefront?
It was actually the Castroville police officers who were on the scene, and it really wasn't even their investigation. They were there more as cover officers and had responded because this happened in their jurisdiction. They reported that to their chain of command. It was then given to the Medina County Sheriff's Office. The Texas Rangers opened an investigation, and Nunemaker was eventually charged with felony assault by a public servant, a first-degree felony. He elected to go to trial, was convicted, and is now serving 7 years probation.
And I understand people can watch this tonight on the Night Beat.
Yes.
All right, well, we look forward to it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And again, the immediate aftermath of the deputy's decision to fire the pepper spray gun at the teen's face from less than 4 feet away.
Taking a live look outside with live cam, city of San Antonio. You're up and moving, getting your day started. Got that traffic flowing. So if you're out and about on the roadways, please stay safe out there. But look at that sky, man. Blue and beautiful, like Justin.
It is nice, isn't it? Oh, thank you. Yes, we're starting to see temperatures warm up a little bit. Hey, I got to give a shout out to my man Hector. It's picture day.
Oh my goodness.
Out in Lacoste, looking very sharp.
Hector, he got swag, man.
Yeah,
look at that shirt.
Yeah, nice shirt, nice hairdo. Love it.
Yeah, looking good. Yes, thanks for sending in those pictures. Keep them coming. And you can check out always our KSAT Connect photos on our website, ksat.com. Pollen count is in. We are in the midst of ragweed season, and that's not the correct pollen count, actually. We have moderate counts of ragweed, not mold, that is kicked up. Let me see if I can get the right one pulled up for you since I'm talking about it here. Let's see. There we go. Ragweed is at 310, molds are at 250, pigweed is at 50, grass is at 20. So ragweed, yes, we are in ragweed season. If you're sniffling and sneezing, that could be why it is the biggest offender right now on our list of allergens. Talking about the forecast for today, we'll see those temperatures make their way up to around 93. There is a chance for some showers and storms this afternoon. We'll talk more about that threat and then what we'll see in the days ahead, because there are some changes and they're good changes. More on that in just a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Well, obesity numbers in the U.S. are still high despite the myriad of weight loss drugs being marketed from Ozempic to Wegovy.
So that's why federal lawmakers are hearing from pharmaceutical company leaders this morning and trying to find a way to make these drugs more available to more people.
This morning, new figures weighing heavy on the nation's health. The CDC releasing new data showing more than 40% of adults in the U.S. are technically obese. That's slightly down from nearly 42% between 2017 and 2020, but is still higher than 37% a decade ago. With the public health concerns so high, lawmakers in Washington today will weigh their options in hopes of bringing down the cost of weight loss drugs.
In terms of these very important weight loss and diabetes drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy, in some cases we are now paying 15 times more than the people in other countries.
Senator Bernie Sanders is leading a hearing today demanding answers on the pricing of the drugs.
Hundreds of thousands of people in this country who desperately need this product will not be able to afford it. There's a study that just recently came out that suggests that some 40,000 people will die unless they're able to get this drug.
The CEO of Novo Nordisk, the maker of Ozempic and Wegovy, is set to testify in person. The company stresses the massive investment in research and manufacturing for these drugs and points out more than 80% of U.S. patients with insurance coverage for Ozempic or Wegovy are paying $25 or less for each prescription. But many private insurers and Medicare don't cover weight loss drugs used for obesity.
The demand has got to be substantially lower the cost of your product and not charge us 10, 15 times what you're charging people in other countries.
Novo Nordisk recently committed $30 billion to increase manufacturing capacity for these drugs, and it spent $4 billion last year in research and development for future treatments. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Well, is the plastic we put in our recycle bins really being recycled? That is the question being raised by the state of California in a lawsuit that they filed against ExxonMobil this week.
The state claims that the Exxon, which produces single-use plastics, misled consumers about the nature of recycling and caused massive environmental damage as a result. The suit claims that Exxon promoted the widely used Chasing Arrow recycling symbol, leading buyers to believe products with the symbol would be recycled if disposed of properly. But a study in 2022 found only 5% of plastic waste in the U.S. is actually recycled, and the rest was disposed of in a less than healthy way.
You can have an item with chasing arrows and it is completely not recyclable. It'll end up being incinerated in the environment or in landfill.
Well, Exxon says so-called advanced recycling, which uses chemicals and heat to break plastics down for reuse, is effective and has kept 60 million pounds of plastic waste out of landfills. However, environmentalists say that this process is very inefficient.
Back here at home, the race for the White House came to the Alamo City with a push for the Democratic Party to get San Antonio voters to the polls.
And yesterday was reportedly the largest presidential fundraiser in the city's history. That's according to Mayor Ron Nirenberg. The second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, spoke at a rally yesterday in the Alamo City supporting his wife and Vice President Kamala Harris. His speech at the Freedom to Vote rally drew in hundreds of people. His first stop in Texas as he supports local Democrats up and down the ballot. We were the only TV station on site when he arrived at the airport as Democrats tried to spread their message before Election Day. They're just over 40 days before the November 5th election. Well, hundreds of you have been saying how you really feel about the Spurs and Missions possibly moving into downtown San Antonio.
UTSA's Center for Public Opinion Research polled nearly 700 voters earlier this month about whether they support both projects. As it turns out, less than 40% of people were okay with both stadium proposals. When it comes to the Spurs arena in particular, less than 36% of you are in favor of it. And more of you, 41%, say you're not. Pollsters say that could be because people don't want taxpayer money to pay for it.
It's certainly not overwhelming, or certainly not clear, at least to me, looking at those numbers, that we see lots of people that are very supportive of building a new downtown arena for the Spurs at this point in time.
Again, to be clear, there is currently no public proposal for a new Spurs arena. When it comes to the Missions downtown move, just under 40% of people are in favor. However, nearly 35% are not. City leaders say that stadium would cost $160 million. The money would come from 3 places, though: the Missions Equity Contribution, bonds from the San Pedro Creek Development Authority, and the Houston Street Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone project.
The father accused in the starvation death of his 4-year-old son will go on trial in just under 1 hour. KSAT's been covering this case since little Brandon Cervera died in 2021. His stepmother, Miranda Cesares, was convicted in his death earlier this year, and now Brandon Cervera is facing the same charge of injury to a child. Cervera faces up to life in prison if found guilty. Testimony will begin at 10 this morning. We'll be live streaming this case, and of course you can watch it right now live all on our digital platforms. We do want to warn you, though, the details in the case will be hard to watch and hear at times.
Time now is 9:39 and 80 degrees for now. You are watching GMSA at 9.
This Hispanic Heritage Month, Patty Santos shows us one local restaurant bringing the flavors of Colombia to the Alamo City.
And a quick check of the roads with TransGuide as we head to break. That shot looks really nice and green, all the grass out there. Loop 410 at Marbach Road looking good right now. Looking at the TxDOT website, the only thing I see, be careful if you're at Highway 90 and 151. Some road debris out there, so just be aware of that. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's 9:43. Well, plantain, chorizo, and arepas are all strong parts of the Colombian cuisine. And Colombians are one of the largest groups of South American migrants coming into the U.S.
Many of them are settling right here in San Antonio. Patty Santos introduces us to some of their authentic flavors.
It's a little hole in the wall, but the smells coming out of Sabor de Sanchez are enticing. Every day at the corner of Tassel Road and Mainland Drive, you'll find ready-to-serve chicharrón.
But the most popular plate we do is bandeja paisa.
The traditional Colombian beans, white rice, chorizo, plantain, and eggs. Daniel Molano and his wife Merle Rodriguez are the soul behind the restaurant.
I never in my life think that I can have restaurants.
The former journalist moved to San Antonio 14 years ago. After buying the Mexican restaurant, he quickly realized there was a need for Colombian flavor in the Alamo City.
And this decision was taken 8 years ago. No more tacos, just empanadas, arepas, bandeja paisa.
He says most of his clients are Central Americans and fellow Colombians.
When I came to San Antonio, only in San Antonio there were 3,000 Colombian people. In this moment, they are 10,000.
The success and love for his country prompted him to open a second location at 1604 in Stone Oak.
Colombian food is the best food you can find.
He served us up some of the most popular dishes: empanadas, carne asada, picada. This is an arepa. Everybody knows arepa because of Encanto. So we all want to know, what is the difference between an arepa, a pupusa, and a gordita?
Arepas, pupusas, and gorditas are relatives.
You'll have to taste the difference yourself. And don't forget to try it with a Colombian magic sauce, ají.
Eso es una mezcla secreta de los colombianos.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Looks good.
Yeah.
So
Y'all hungry
good.
yet?
Oh my God, look, what's up with them? Them jokers like, let's go to the water. Like they are not on the pavement at all.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the cold front, that's all.
Oh yeah, look at them. They're just having a little meeting.
Or not really a cold front, was it? Less humidity front?
There you go.
A gravitation, no.
Occluded, but it's
There
not
it
an occluded. That was our trivia question this morning. We asked about.
I was trying not to say what our producer said earlier.
So there's 4 basic types of fronts: cold, warm, stationary, and
gravitational.
She's like, well, occluded.
Yeah, there you go.
What Japanese said.
Hey.
But technically, tomorrow's front is a cold front, even though it's not going to.
Oh, okay. Not a less humidity front.
You can call it a less humidity front. I'm fine with that. That is basically what it is. As we go outside for you, we've got just a few clouds in the sky right now. Temperatures are at 80 degrees, 83 in New Braunfels, 79 Converse, mid-70s in Bernie, and not a lot of wind out there. I want to show you the dew points. We've still got dew points in the 70s, still extremely sticky. But you go up into the Texas Panhandle, we're starting to see kind of the first signs of that lower humidity starting to work in. So dew points 57 in Amarillo. That's not that dry, but that dry air is just starting to move in. and it will push across the entire state as we get into tomorrow. We'll feel it here. The dew point eventually falls down into the 50s and maybe even 40s in some cases. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be extremely dry. It'll be breezy too. In the weekend, we see it pick up just a little bit, but not bad. Even going into next week, I think we stay relatively pleasant when it comes to the humidity. So that will be a pleasant change. And as we look at the visible satellite picture, because we still do have humidity at the moment, we're starting to see some clouds develop, getting some cumulus clouds starting to pop up here across Bexar County. We've got some high clouds sliding in on top of that. So multiple layers of clouds today. We'll see if some of these will bubble up into some showers and storms. And I think that's a possibility. As we look to our north, there's a little area of showers and storms up around Tyler and Waco. But some of this energy will sink a little bit further south later today. So our forecast does show that there are some rain chances there. 86 noontime, 93 this afternoon, 20% chance of rain at that point. But we bump it up to a 30% chance during the evening hours. Computer models continue to show that threat for few showers and maybe some storms. We'll keep an eye on the authority radar. Have the KSAT weather app handy. You can check out the radar there. And of course, we'll alert you if anything does pop up. All right, potential tropical cyclone 9. I keep waiting on these updates. They're coming in just a little bit later than they usually do from the Hurricane Center. But we do know that winds are at 35 miles per hour at the 7 a.m. update. And the hurricane hunters are still flying around this thing. So they're still gathering data. It still looks a little lopsided. This thing is not terribly organized yet, but there's going to be some rapid organization, I think, that takes place as it starts to move up into the Gulf. And this thing will pick up speed a little bit too. So as it kind of turns that corner towards Florida, Category 3 hurricane by Thursday at 1 o'clock, winds can be as high as 115 miles per hour. Could it be stronger than this? Absolutely. So folks from Tampa all the way over to Pensacola have got to pay close attention to this. And they've been hit by some hurricanes in recent years. So this is just yet another one to have some pretty big impacts on the west coast of Florida. Now, as it moves inland, it weakens some, but we're still talking about 70 mile per hour winds Friday morning as this moves inland into Georgia. Atlanta is going to get a lot of rain out of this as it moves north, and it will also affect places like Nashville and Indianapolis over the weekend. So for us, 93 tomorrow. That front starts to make its way in by the afternoon. Humidity, it won't just fall off a ledge, but it'll gradually get drier. And by Thursday morning, you will feel the difference. And you'll especially feel it Friday morning with a low of 63. It will be a little bit breezy tomorrow too, as that less humidity front works its way into the area.
Love it. Well, okay, so I'm looking at Saturday because Head for the Cure Saturday morning.
Saturday morning will be good. Towards the end of the race, maybe, was it 10 o'clock or so?
Yeah.
It'll start to heat up some.
Oh, okay. We can handle that.
We'll be all right.
Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
Well, SA Live loves to feature the best and the brightest that the Alamo City has to offer.
So let's go ahead and go on out to Market Square where Fiona and Jen have one of the newest stars of the city. And we're talking about a baker competing in a national competition. What?
Yep. He's
So
a
exciting.
baker of nightmares. Oh yes, Manny Martinez, owner of Grim Bakers, is here, and you can see him in season 10 of the Halloween Baking Championship.
Yes.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much.
That's so cool. And thanks for representing San Antonio.
Absolutely.
What was your favorite part about the competition?
Oh my gosh. I think my favorite part, honestly, was just meeting all of these amazing people. A lot of really heavy talent on this season, and being able to just go head to head with everyone was just really, really fun.
And you're having to condense the baking time that you would normally get more time for. That's a really cool concept. There
Absolutely.
the show,
It's actually terrifying.
Speaking of terrifying, what are we making? We're going to learn from you today.
Yeah, so we're going to make some little Skull Linzer cookies. We're going to fill them with
Doesn't
a...
that look like?
Wait, I got to touch it. I got
Okay.
What's the
All right.
We're going to fill them with a tart cherry filling.
Okay.
So you're going to go ahead and just add a little bit in the middle. There you go.
It's just so real looking.
I know.
Okay. You said you use real fruit in there?
Yeah, so we use a lot of real fruit instead of having to use...
Don't mind me, y'all.
No, you're good. Just tap it
Go
on there.
on, Manny.
Yeah.
Ignore me.
So
Okay.
fresh cherry filling, and then we're gonna do just a smidge of red dye in there, so you get that really full flavor. There you go. Push that bad boy on there.
Oh, he needs some powdered sugar. Okay.
Yeah. And even if you put the powdered sugar on after, it's still okay.
It's all good?
The
Okay.
sugar will dissolve over the filling.
Oh, wait, you need filling. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is why he does what he does.
Oh no! Oh, the humanity!
What a mess
Oh
we've
no!
got here.
Yes! Oh,
goodness.
goodness.
Party foul.
Smear it
Yes.
this way.
I have
Yes.
to say, these caught my eye, okay?
So cute!
So cute! What are we going to make a little later in the show?
We're gonna make a stab cake.
Stab.
Yes,
Did you
really
hear that?
fun.
Yeah, stab cake. And your favorite spooky thing to make?
My favorite spooky thing to make is just really fun, flesh pies. Why not, right?
Look at that!
Flesh
yes.
pie.
Leather
Leather skin pies.
Mmm, yum, 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 yum. What flavor is that?
It is a tart cherry.
A tart cherry, Jen.
Yeah.
A tart cherry.
How
And of
did
course, you specialize in kind of like the macabre, right? But you do more like beyond, right? Beyond
Absolutely.
the macabre. Yes.
Yeah, we do a lot of normal, everyday birthday and holiday stuff. Halloween is our thing, and we do it all year round.
Now, I have to ask, are you the only one from San Antonio competing in the show? that you're
Yes,
aware of?
yes.
That is really cool, really
Yeah.
cool.
We have another competitor from Austin.
From Austin.
So we have two
Okay.
Texas guys.
All right, way to represent
All right.
the Lone Star State. Thanks,
Manny's
Manny.
going to spill more secrets a little later on. We can't wait to make the stab cake, considering how well we did on this one.
So cute.
Right, guys?
Yes, we'll be right back.
We see you.
All right, welcome back. So we all know it's all about time to try to give back to the San Antonio Food Bank, and they're also helping pets. So right now we got our Devin Carp with a great production for us.
Devin?
Here at the San Antonio Food Bank, there are thousands upon thousands of items to feed people all over our area, but they're not the only ones who are going to get something to eat today. We're going to have four-legged friends getting food drive as a part of the San Antonio Food Bank's Hunger Awareness Month. And I have here Michael Guerra from the San Antonio Food Bank to tell us a little bit more about it. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. We're known for securing the household when it comes to food for people, but a lot of people don't know that last year we helped 60,000 pets stay in their home by getting them food like we're doing today. It's really thinking about securing that entire household, those who need food, the two-leggeds and the four-leggeds as well.
Yeah, so talk to me. We've got all this pet food here. How's that going to work today?
Yeah, thanks to PetSmart Charities, they're recognizing pet food hunger awareness with a donation to food banks like us around the country. So you can see here big bags of cat food, there's dog food, but we have a distribution, actually a curbside at our own food bank facility where people have pre-registered today. And so we're going to help probably 1,000 pets, 2,000 individuals are going to get food also, so a little for the pets and some for the humans.
Yeah, talk to me. Why is it so important, that you guys host this pet food distribution? Because that could be a key barrier of entry to getting somebody to a food bank who may not come here without that.
Yeah, we see that people are proud, of course, right? It's hard to ask for themselves. When it comes to their kid or their pet, that's often in the doorway that they're kind of okay to ask for help because they want to take care of the ones they love. And so today I think we're going to see a number, I don't know the data yet, but we'll probably see a lot of first-time people who are coming here just for that pet food. And we love to see that because then we can talk to them about what additional services they need for their house.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Michael. We appreciate it. All right, the distribution is going to be happening today in 2 different chunks. Now, registration is already filled, but if you'd like to get help with pet food in the future, you can feel free to call the San Antonio Food Bank. We've got that number and more information on KSAT.com. I'm Devin Carp, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you so much, Devin. September, again, is Hunger Action Month, so it's the perfect time to donate to the place that feeds more than 100,000 people in our area every week. So find out how to help the San Antonio Food Bank and the people that it supports in our community right now on KSATcommunity.com.
And looking ahead, get this, we're gearing up for this year's Head for the Cure 5K. It's going to be this weekend, September the 28th at Providence Catholic School.
Now you can register right now by scanning that QR code on your screen. That will take you directly to the website to register, and proceeds from the Head for the Cure will go to brain cancer research. Now, for more information, you can visit KSATcommunity.com. And just this morning, want to share, if you want to register, there is a discount code available that is KSAT24 if you would like a discount when you register for Head for the Cure.
Come run. It's a great cause. It's good times. We'll be here to hang out. So come join us
You
Saturday
said the
morning.
weather's going to be pretty cool, right?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, Saturday morning, we're talking 66. That's good running weather in my book.
Yeah.
So we got to get past this evening, a few showers and storms. and then we'll get some of that drier air pushing in tomorrow afternoon. Once it does, it'll be breezy and drier all the way through the weekend.
All right, Justin, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. It's time to head out to our spooky crew over there at SA Live.
Have a good day, guys.
Celebrating 10 years